So come on in, take a sip, let's wind down. Happy Sunday to everyone, and today we're having a Martini Bianco. And as you can see here, I throw in a couple of my large cubes of ice. I just add the Martini Bianco, and then I top it off with the Prosecco. I leave the soda water out of it altogether. It's kind of pointless to me. A nice little lemon garnish, but what a refreshing drink. And these are wonderful for me when I have a slight little sweet tooth. These aren't the most these aren't the sweetest drinks on the planet, but they do have a nice little sweet touch, right? And it's just a wonderful little cocktail. Now I haven't had one in a while, but I was out walking through the Altstadt today and I noticed a couple of people sitting outside because the weather's probably 10 degrees centigrade, so about 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and people are sitting outside and they're having cocktails, outdoors, right outside of the restaurant, in the seating area out front. And I saw several people having these along with the Aperol Spritz, and the Aperol Spritz is a bit on the sweet side for me, so I'm like, well, I think we just got me inspired for the cocktail for our Sunday deep dive into the grid, which we can go ahead and get started with. Now that we've got our libations set. Okay, so we have a co-construction from Daniel Grinberg and Grinberg-Musa, edited by Will Shorts. And the title of this grid is In the Rear View. So let's hop on into this Sunday, February 23rd puzzle and see what we've got going on. Okay, a dazzling display. Lawyer's title, maybe Esquire. Might as well just come on up here to see here. So, dazzling display. Queendom in the Bible, maybe Sheba. So I think our fish bait would be chum, which is always kind of gross sounding, chum. But if it catches the fish, then more power to them. Okay, what a tight deadline might require, or what's found in 30 across. Question when leaving a grocery store, perhaps. What a tight deadline might require. Well, with a QU, we could probably make it work. You know what? Let's throw caution to the wind. Let's just put in a quick turnaround. And we can just start checking immediately. Probably here on the back end of it. Since January 1st, perhaps year to date. And plant with bugs could be a spy. So far, looking pretty good on our crazy guesstimate. Felt longing for, maybe pined. Yeah, why not? Do perfectly, perhaps is to ace. Okay, so we're not going to have the biggest challenge on our hands today, but this is we'll see how this plays out in the clever factor. But I'm liking the gate so far. So maybe secret sauce. Question when leaving a grocery store. No idea. Creature that sounds like a snooze. Maybe we're talking about a boar. Hint at LGBTQ plus storylines to generate buzz. Blue-green shades could be aquas. Okay. Well, that's good. Tech giant based in Cupertino, California, and that is none other than Apple. Boy, if I could go back in time and buy stock into that thing. Gosh. I mean, just $500 in like 1983 or something would just... Yeah, I could have earned that mowing yards or something, right? I mean, really. Forget to finish writing a clue, Maybe we're talking about air. Okay. Place where clovers bloom, maybe in a lee. So I guess our hint to the LGBTQ plus community storylines generate buzz could be queer bait. That's clever too. Pig's digs. Sound of a smooth running machine engine. I got a purr here. Attacked. Leader of Filmdom's Rebel Alliance. Obi-Wan, you're our only hope. Maybe Leia. So I think attacked made war. I don't know for sure, but that's why we get to check. Scarlett Johansson, Rami Malek, or Vin Diesel. Did you know? No, I didn't. Are they twins? Maybe what's his name? I didn't, So, yeah, I guess we'll go with the twin. And if that turns out to be correct, then we'll have learned something new, unless you already knew. I don't. Dazzling display could be éclat. And so we have options on some tests, A, B, C, D, and receive severe criticism, maybe take heat. Inaugural, how about maiden? Flood preventers. We got a D, we're going with dikes. Halls that may have glass ceilings, and I'm assuming we're talking about atria. Amusingly incongruous outcomes. Well, with that IR, what do you think? Ironies? We'll check it. We just check away here today. Yom Kippur observers, and I guess these would be atoners. And disease that was the subject of the second Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine, and I think that would be malaria. And I can't remember the gentleman's name, but I think he was a knight. I think he'd been knighted for something. I don't know where that came from, but I remembered something. A little bit. Totally the wrong way, or what's found in 79 across. And we've got ass in here, so maybe ass backwards. I think that is so funny, the freedom with which we just use language that would have been highly frowned upon 30 years ago, but now, no big deal. Have you ever watched a sitcom or a TV show? For example, I got the Buck Rogers disc set a couple of years back, and I like to watch it because it was my favorite show as a child. Buck Rogers, bitty, 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 way to go, Buck. I mean, it was just good stuff, right? But for an Air Force captain to refer to an Air Force colonel as Wilma, I don't know, it's got its issues. But I noticed that the ones that were shot in the 70s are pretty racy, pretty skimpy clothes, stuff like that. Things that you wouldn't have seen past 1981-ish, right? Very interesting. So an i5 and X5, and these are BMWs, and this is the second time I've seen this creep into the grid. So apparently now BMWs is a thing. I've got a steering wheel. Yeah, right back there. I drive I have an X-Drive, and Jerry's got a Mini, and basically we've got two BMWs, same company, Radar gun initials. How about miles per hour? Many long-running TV shows, maybe soaps. I never could get into them. My grandmother would watch them every day, and I'd spend every summer with my grandmother, my Oma, but I'd just sit there and do whatever. Just doodle or something. Author of the 1964 artist book Grapefruit, and that would be Yoko Ono. Okay, second printings as an example. Perhaps these are reissues. And horses behind. I think that's maybe a haunch. I'm no stranger to horses. Riding them, I can gentle them. I've even ridden a few bulls. Hard to believe, I'm sure, but it's true. Newspaper section could be the arts. It's funny, I got a note from someone on I don't know if it was Instagram, the channel Instagram or the TikTok, But the question was, does having the fire on your TV make it warmer to you? Yes. By playing that stream of a fireplace in my living room. We don't have fireplaces in this building. We have wonderful heat, but the heat is still, when it's cold outside, it's just cold, even though it's warm inside the flat. So I always turn that on, and everybody says it's a psychological thing. I get it, but it does make you feel a little bit more toasty. So don't worry about us. How about we're okay? Tolerate misbehavior, or what's found in 56. Well, I can't wait to get to 56 across. I guess it's probably look the other way. So again, I've got a nice little gate with this one. Hoots could be riots, and improvise. Well, unwanted event at a speakeasy with an R. Maybe we're talking about a raid. Check up wish list items. Maybe wants. Improvise. Huh. I don't know about that. This is really not jumping out at me at all whatsoever. That's kind of cool. Like some heels and hopes. How about high hopes? So improvise could be to wing it. Wasn't even there at all. Marriage equality activist Windsor, and that would be Edie. So question when leaving a grocery store, perhaps. Maybe where did I park? I mean, that's just a guess, but what else could it be? Where did I park? Let's say DIPAR. Depar. Rapid. Got rapid moving backwards. Okay, well, we'll see if we can make sense of this. The cruciverbalists that we are, right? Perhaps that's something that interests me. So how about I may? Spot for a pin. Oh, how about a mat or a map? Wow, cousin Rolf from Heidelberg is sending quite a few messages. Guess I'll get to that when we finish the grid. Spot for a pin, a map, maybe a mat. I don't know. Palm Pilots as an example for short. And I tell you what, I really wish I still had mine. I had two. I had the very first one. It was kind of a green black thing. Then I got a color screen. Oh, that was cool. Then I got a Microsoft Cassiopeia, which was great for syncing up with my computer at the office, right? But not so great for coming home and onto the Macintosh, right? So everything has changed. Make the Swifties happy there. What locks are made of? How about hair? Hair rhymes with purse. Family Guy. Tuna variety. How about ahi? And lines of work, perhaps trades. Protein powder ingredient, maybe whey. So, okay. Now, what else we got? Source of some public funding. And, I mean, with this DER there, it just makes me think this must be a federal grant. Yeah, I don't know. That's why we check, because we don't know. Unfortunately, that's incorrect. How about alas, no. Alas, no. What was the line from Indiana Jones where they found the Grail, and the guy, he chose poorly. When doubled as a dance. What do you think, a cha-cha or a can-can? I don't really know, so I think I'm going to leave it alone. Director's directive, maybe, and action. And I guess we got ourselves a can-can. I guess I could have already figured that out. I don't know what I was thinking. Well, I guess because of last no. Yeah, anyway, sorry. Second guessing myself. Bad habit. Really? Check for yourself. It's a fact. That could go so many different ways, though, couldn't it? Most common coffee bean variety, and that would be Arabica. Love interest in a Hallmark movie, maybe. I have no idea. Home of the Sugarloaf cable car informally, and I think that's in Rio. It's not like I sit around just knowing that the Sugarloaf cable car is in Rio. It's just that when I get something and I've got 3 letters and it starts with an R, it jogs my memory. Rio. Yeah. Like I could really host Jeopardy. I would be great at hosting Jeopardy, but playing it, I don't know. Maybe I'd do great. Maybe I wouldn't, I don't know. I always wanted a shot at it though. Just want a shot at it. Walks unsteadily, maybe totters? That doesn't feel too great coming out. Whatever you say. I bet. Did you really, Bob? Did you really? So maybe the love interest in a Hallmark movie is a nice guy. If it were a Christmas movie, it'd be a nice guy who has a master's degree in philosophy, and he lives in some town in Maine or some small village in England, and he's got a Christmas tree farm that's going bankrupt. And in comes the businesswoman with the MBA and all that stuff, and they fall in love, and she saves the Christmas tree farm. I don't know. Organized in a cabinet, say maybe filed? Don't really know. Happen over and over, maybe recur. It'd be my pleasure. So I'm probably maybe happy to oblige. Oh, no, I don't want to put an O there. I want to put a B if this is all possible. So let's see if we can make this work. Happy to... Maybe I'm happy to... Oh, we'll wait. Let's see. Barbura or Barbados. So I guess we're talking about an isle. Yeah, so maybe I'm happy to oblige. And soupçons, be iotas. It may be on the chopping block. How about loin? School before l'université, would be lycée. It comes with a hefty bill. I would say a toucan, but I don't know. Word processing selection, maybe to format. Well, that's close, could be to end. Looks like it is turning out to be a toucan there at 85 across. Legal tender, maybe money. The monster mash. It was a monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. It was the mash. It was the monster mash. Philosophy could be an ism. And I've got a ton of combestisms. Or as some of my friends say, Christopher-isms. I love the Italian crystal and that gonging sound that the ice makes on it. So a fraidy cat could be a wimp. Don't think I've ever been called that. Shoddy. How about poor? And I think we got ourselves a toucan, so most dad jokes are the pun groaners. And 1-1 literally ones. Okay, got it. Let's see. Blank beauty. No idea. Okay. 1/96th of a pint. I'm assuming it's a teaspoon. And again, I don't know. Ocean in Ocean's 11, and that would be Tess. I saw one. I think I saw the first Ocean's 11. Like I was sitting in Iraq, and somebody had bought one of the copies. They had a lot of pirated DVDs over there from the local economy. Completely legal there, I guess. I don't know, but they were everywhere. And I was like, oh, that's not so bad. But it was filmed in a theater. You could just tell somebody had a camera and they're just kind of holding it in the theater. It was kind of moving every now and then. You see back people's heads. I mean, yeah, it wasn't great, but we were happy to have the entertainment. Coalesce could be to gel. And like King Midas, notably, perhaps we're talking about greedy. And if you ever get to Turkey, you can actually see where the king's realm was. It's very interesting, right? Some of the stories you hear. We get this idea, kind of in this Western European sense of storytelling, you know, this king, you know, everything turns to gold. But I think really would have been Turkish where King Midas was at in that area now. I think completely change one's opinion or what's found in 104 across. Oh, good Lord. And so, oh, well, okay, I'm looking up here at these others. It looks like on federal grant going across, we have a Glare, glare, and we have booty at 79 across, moving backwards, and rapid. So rapid, glare, booty. Maybe feeling kind of ass backwards here. Okay, but now I get it. I get it. So, yeah, so ass backwards, and that's talking about tracking. Okay, clever grid. Completely changed one's opinion. So I'm thinking this is probably going to be like to reverse course. Not to be relied upon. Distorts. Perhaps we're talking about skewing here. And 110 facetiously, and I'm assuming we're shooting for a 11, which is pretty funny. I won't check that though. I don't really. In a bashful manner. How about shyly? And this is a confession. I don't think I've ever been shy about anything. Not once. Ever. I'm sure that's a flaw. Google Sheets alternative was kind of funny. You would think that Google Sheets would be the alternative to Excel. I like that. That's tricky. Very well done, Grinberg-Musa. Like it. Formal U in Uruguay, and that would be usted. You're going to have to type better than that, Christopher. Mates. How about pals? He's my mate. Singer whose 1985 song Running Up That Hill became a top 10 hit in 2022, being featured on Stranger Things, and that would be Kate Bush. And I remember when that happened. Shotzi was a fan of Stranger Things, maybe still is. I never could get into it that much, but not a criticism, just wasn't like my show. A smidgen, how about an ounce? So I guess we're talking not to be relied upon could be spurious. So Beehive State athlete would be a Ute. And Wild Goats of the Alps would be Ibexes. When we stayed in the Alps, several times actually. We've been there a lot. One was when I went to the Omega Watch Museum. That was the coolest thing. That was a Hajj. That was a pilgrimage. But I had Ibex steaks on one of our trips to the Alps here the last couple of years and whatnot. It was so good. Oh, so good. Delta Hub abbreviation. There's quite a few. So what do we got going on here? Supply at the Hershey Company. What do you think? Cocoa or cacao? I don't know. Delta Hub. City near Disney World. Informally. Blank Beauty. I don't know. We're going to have to figure that out. Or maybe we won't. Maybe I'll have to forego this one. Gift wrapping supply. Quiet. Okay, maybe we'll shush ourselves. Sweetie could be hun. Yeah, so I think this would be Chicago. Maybe Atlanta. This isn't coming to me at all. I mean, Disney World. I mean, you got the Epcot Center there. I mean, it's Orlando, right? I mean, let's see. Americans who live in their own time zone, and I guess these are going to be Hawaiians. So maybe O-Town? Orlando Town? I don't know. It's a new thing for me. So maybe this is Ulta Beauty. Gift wrapping supply. I guess maybe Scotch tape. Rolls. Gender identity prefix. Seems to be cis. So with it could be hip. Yep. I think we got Scotch tape. Let's see. Confucian concept. How about a towel? And part of a wheel could be a spoke. And fall ignominiously, or fail ignominiously, as at the box office. And that should be your tank, maybe. It has been one of those lazy days. I have not been talking to myself much today. Like, this is probably the first time that I've uttered words, which is rare. I'm usually having quite a conversation with myself, especially when I'm alone. So I'm going to go with the Scotch tape rolls, like I had originally suggested, just because. Part of iOS, maybe sys, from systems, detaches from a source of dependence, maybe weans. And custardy treat, flan. I do miss that stuff. Many a piece of writing by Joan Didion, and that would be an essay, I'm almost positive. Lohengrin Soprano, I think we're talking about Elsa. Reality competition show with quick-fire challenges. So I don't know, and I don't ever watch this if this is the answer, but I think because of what I have to choose from, maybe this is Top Chef. Rip-off hose, nice, okay. Have a pity party. How about just sitting around moping? Something else I don't really do a whole lot of, you know. Things aren't going well, just change it. That's kind of my philosophy, but what do I know? Small wood could be a cops, and intimidate maybe to cow. I was reading that a while ago as intimate, hint at something. So nickname for Milwaukee's baseball team. And I guess we're going for the Brew Crew, occasions for self-indulgence, me days. I didn't know that about the Milwaukee Brewers, but the Brew Crew, huh? Well, again, learning things in the crossword puzzle. Not a bad deal. Etna alternative could be Cigna, word with air or pocket. Clearly, I'm seeing air in this thing, so. Catherine Parr. Collectors of signatures. Scheme. You think a plan or a plot? I'm going to just put a PL in here. I don't know. Coiffure. Parts that are sometimes braided. Oh, man. So probably rat tails. I don't feel too comfortable with that either, though. Like, I don't know what it is. Collectors of signatures. Scheme, still don't know. Complete nonsense. Formation of rugby players. Given address, perhaps we're talking to orate. And bitter. Okay, actually, I had just emailed it. I have it on my desktop. I'll pull it up in editing. But bitter. There was a meme going around a few years ago, and I've still got it. As a matter of fact, it's sitting right here on my desktop, showing all the ways that the word bitter, short for bitteschön, is used in German, right? It just means, yeah, please, and after you, and here you go, and I'm sorry, and excuse me. And the funniest one is, yeah, I slept with your sister, but I'm really sorry about that, and I still want to work this out, kind of a thing. It means so many different things, right? Bitte, bitte, bitte. So I think that's really funny. I thought I would share that little laugh with you. C'est la vie. I don't know the rugby players. Potato chip to a Brit. Perhaps we're talking in crisps. Crisps. A hound or dog? Oh, pester. Okay. Maybe. C'est la vie. Okay, so be it. We kind of have a similar saying in German. So oder so ist in Ordnung. Whatever. Yeah. 6 to 1, half a dozen to the other. Whatever. C'est la vie. Interesting. So, formation of rugby players, I guess, scrum? Not to be confused with chum. Let's see. Complete nonsense could be utter rot. Utter rot. Collectors of signatures. Casts. So, never even had a cast on. I just feel like I've missed out on so much crap. So, small mongooses, meerkats. I guess I didn't realize I was finished. Okay, so, yeah, again, Sundays are extremely long, right? But this one was not circuitous. It had a very nice gate. It had a fantastic theme. I loved it, and I was able to see where going backwards in the clues from the spelled letters. I mean, what a fantastic co-construction today by Daniel Grinberg and Bianco. Well done. I mean, this was what you would call, if you have a friend that's just getting into the lifestyle of the patent cruciverbalist, right? They're just becoming kind of puzzle crazy. If they're a noob, if they're kind of beginning at this would be a great Sunday exercise, right? And like I say all the time, you Google it. If you don't know the answer, Google, right? I remember when I was doing these way back in the day, when I first started crosswording back in my late teens, there was no Google. There was no AOL at the time. I mean, it was nothing. There was nothing like that at all whatsoever. I literally built a collection, a small library that I kept on a smaller shelf of different trivia books, almanacs, movie databases, you name it. I had picked up a little bit of this and a little bit of that everywhere I went, flea markets, garage sales, estate sales. And I just finally built, half-price books, which was, I don't even know if they're still around, but in the Dallas-Fort Worth area where I'm from, half-price books, HPB, we used to always call them. They were amazing, and you could just really go in and you could spend $20 and have a lot of books to read. And so for people like me, English majors and such, it was a great thing to have at my disposal. But yeah, I had to build a library of reference materials so that I could get through a crossword. But once I started, I was hooked. And so nowadays, you've got the entire world on your smartphone. Everything written, the entire lexicon of humankind, right? Every scientific study, everything on the planet is available to us, right? And so if you don't know, look it up. And then make sure you learn it, not just to satisfy one grid, but to satisfy what should be an aching sense in your soul to know as much about everything as possible, right? So, with that said, fantastic grid. Well done, Daniel Grinberg and Bianco. Bravo, gentlemen. We'll go ahead and bring down our Benier de Adieu, and we'll call this to a close. Wherever you are on this planet, I hope that this community makes you happy. I hope that you understand deep down inside how happy I am. Me, My name is Christopher, and I'm delighted you were here to solve this grid with me. It means the world to me. So thank you for the likes and the subscribes. Thank you for the wonderful comments. I love hearing from all of you. It just makes my day. And until we see you tomorrow for the Monday grid and the Monday Guardian, because the Guardian takes a break on Sundays, fine, the setter deserves that. Ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss, Servus, Grüß Gott, ciao, Cin-Cin, Toodle Pip. We will see you on the other end. Just be really nice to the people behind you in line. Let's make the world a slightly better place to be. We'll chat soon. Be well.